Bullshit.
This episode pays tribute to Captain Obvious. It's the No Bullshit Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO and founder of Massolutions, your no bullshit marketing firm. There are two target audiences that should be obvious to all of us, but yet many companies neglect these two critical, essential target markets. We call that no BS reason tied to Captain Obvious. People become bullshit marketers by not noticing the obvious, and Captain Obvious does just that. He exemplifies the obvious and points out the obvious. Well, that's what we're doing. We're going to point out two target markets that you should know that you most likely are neglecting. The first are referral sources. When I speak across the country to CEO groups, groups of marketers, groups of leaders, I ask this question. Tell me about your system related to your referral sources, your system related to your centers of influence, how you track and study and analyze those people who refer business to you. And I get this look. You can't see it on the podcast necessarily if you're listening driving down the road, but that look was one of befuddlement. And here's why. The vast majority of companies don't approach their referral sources as the core target audience. I'm amazed at how many don't really even track who referred them business. So there are four major things that you have to do to have your referral source marketing go to a whole nother level and not be Captain Obvious and miss that key target audience. The first is you do need to track your referral sources. You need to track who's sending you the business. Who is someone that's been a center of influence that's introduced you to someone or connected you to someone that eventually became a client? That's number one, track. But number two, and most important, is thank. Yes. Again, I'm amazed when I ask groups, how do you thank your referral sources? And some will get really uncomfortable and go, I haven't always thanked them. Others will go, I thank them. I thank this one with a text, or I thank them with an email. What you have to do with the thank you of referral sources is thank them in the way that they perceive the thank you to be. Now, you don't always know that, so what this means is thank them multiple ways. There are some people that think thanking by text is enough. There are others that don't. So why risk by thanking only by one medium? If you want to text them to thank them to make it quick, do that. But follow up with the written thank you. That's the one that's the standard across any generation, any person. If you send a written thank you that goes in the mail, they'll save that. But you can also thank them with a creative video. I use BombBomb as a tool. It's a way for me to quickly produce videos and send out a heartfelt message that they can see me on screen for 15, 20 seconds. You can send an email, but if you use a combination of text, email, written thank you, maybe something creative on the video side, you've now thanked this person and they're going to send you more referrals because other people aren't thanking them. You weren't. Now you're thanking them. So the first thing you have to do is track that referral sources to see who's giving you referrals and begin to cultivate those relationships. See who are people that are like that referral source that's sending you ones that aren't right now. That's what tracking gets you. Then the second thing is to thank. But the third is you have to update them. And it's real easy to update them if you closed the business. But still, some people don't. So the first thing is, if they refer you and you get the business, you update them. But even prior to that, you should update them and say, thanks for the referral. I'm meeting with so-and-so next week. I'll let you know how it goes. Then you meet with so-and-so, met with so-and-so, meeting went great. I pitched them on X. I'll let you know what happens. Then when you close them, thank you again for this referral. It worked out great. They're now a client. Those you're probably somewhat comfortable with, and you're saying, Dave, I'm really going to do 3 of those? 3 updates? Yes, if you want to keep that person referring more and more to you. But here's the real kicker. When things go south and the referral didn't work out, most of us have a tendency to run and hide. What I'm telling you to do is update that person on what happened. And I can give you a real life personal example. I had a friend refer me to someone. I go to meet with them. The meeting just did not go well. We didn't click. There was no chemistry. It ended abruptly. I quickly, on the drive back to the office, called my friend and said, hey, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if I did something that offended this person. Maybe we just didn't click. Maybe I came off too strong. Not sure. Just wanted you to know I appreciate the connection. I want you to know I did my best and it didn't seem to work out. I'm going to back off for a little bit, see what happens. About a week goes by and this person reaches out to me and said that person had just had some news related to a family member, health related, and he told this person, I really feel bad. I was distant and wasn't even listening to Dave. My mind was elsewhere. We should meet again. Set up the second meeting. They became a client. I then thanked this person for connecting me. So when it goes south, don't do that tendency we all have, which is to just say, oh, geez, I don't want to go and tell so-and-so that referred me to this person that it didn't go well. And you just kind of hide from it. Well, now that person's wondering what happened and they're thinking maybe you didn't thank them. And all kinds of weird head trash can come into play for both you and that person the next time you see them. So the first thing you do with referral sources, track them so you can see tendencies and reach out to people that look, feel, and sound like the people that do refer to you. Second is thank them, and thank them in multiple ways so you thank the way they want to be thanked. The third is you update them so that they know what's going on with that situation, even if things didn't go particularly well. And then the fourth thing is you ask for referrals. So if that person hasn't given you referrals, you ask. And if they have, you tell them how great you did with someone that they referred and you ask again. This is hard. It should be easy, but this is hard for us. It's hard for me. It's one of the biggest areas that I need to improve and practice what I preach because we have a number of satisfied clients. Our first ever client has been a client every month for every year of the company. We keep clients 7, 10, 15 years. We keep clients 5, 8 years in an industry where people aren't keeping clients that long. And me and my team aren't asking for referrals, so we need to change. So I'm asking you to do as I say, not as I do, like we heard from our parents. But that's the fourth thing is ask for the referrals. So with that neglected target market of referral sources, first track your referral sources so you can see tendencies and not leave referrals on the table. Second, thank them in the way they wanted to be thanked, so you're thanking in multiple ways. The third is update them even if things didn't go well. And the fourth is ask for referrals. If you've never got one, ask, and if you've got them, ask for more. That's the first neglected target audience that Captain Obvious, they should be obvious that they'd be a target audience, and most companies that I've found don't treat referral sources as a target audience. Now, I'm not talking about healthcare where they treat referral sources because referral sources actually are their business. I'm talking about any company, a professional services firm, a manufacturing firm, an energy company, a law firm, architect. You can build a referral source marketing program. Referral sources need to have their own target audience. The second major target market that's obvious but neglected is employees. And you've heard me talk about this target audience quite a bit. And I call it B2E storytelling, B2E communications, B2E marketing, and B2E stands for business to employees. Now more than ever, you need to be focusing on employees as a target market. So when you do B2E marketing, you use the tenets of marketing on your employees. Number one, you ask them questions and listen to their feedback. This means you do marketing intel about your employees and with your employees. You're asking them again and again, both qualitative open-ended questions and even official surveys. You're asking them questions, you're finding out from them, and then you're listening and adapting to how they want to communicate. And then second, you're communicating in multiple channels, multiple ways, and you're using repetition of message. And number three, you're creating the story by them, with them, and for them. These are things you do for your customers. For your customers, you will do marketing intel and you'll try to learn about them. You'll ask them questions, listen to the feedback. Number two, you will try to communicate to them again and again. And number three, you'll try to create the content in a manner that they want it to be created and how they want to consume it. And you'll tell a creative story again and again. And you'll follow up to see if they understood the story and are they being moved by it and is it making an impact. You have to do the same thing with your employees as a target market. And then you have to track what worked and what didn't so that you can continually communicate to those employees because they drive your culture, they drive your company. And so you need to use B2E marketing and not neglect this second obvious target market because it will help with retention of the best employees, the peak performers, because they're the ones that can go anytime they want to. So you want to retain the best employees, not just the mediocre and the low-end employees. You want to retain the best ones. Number two, you want to be able to recruit new ones that are solid and that become peak performers. And you want them to understand about your company and about your culture and understand your story. And number three, the third R of B2E is results. Productivity will go up. 82% of employees feel their productivity suffers by lack of communication, lack of quality communication, up, down, and across the organization. 82% of employees feel their productivity suffers because of the communication not being to the level it should be. So that's why results is the third R. Recruitment, retention, results. Your 3 R's of B2E, business to employee, marketing, business to employee, storytelling. That's the Captain Obvious analogy, is that these are two target audiences that should be obvious, but they're not, and as a result, they're being neglected. Referral sources and employees. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Bullshit Marketing Podcast. Remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions, no BS.